Welcome guys to another video here on the Man United Daily YouTube channel, and in this one it's a bit different, and I'm going to do a wish list of players, or 3 players in particular, who I think United should get this summer, and they're not unrealistic by any stretch of the imagination. We've been linked to these players, and they're at clubs where they are, so like the circumstances involved means that they are, like I said, realistic targets, so they're not going to be like Messi or anything like that. So so the first one is N'Golo Kante, or Conte, at Leicester City. I'm sure everyone knows about him now after his absolutely extraordinary breakthrough season at Leicester. Absolute monster in midfield. People might have criticisms of him. He's only 5'5", I believe, but absolute monster around that middle of the field. Covers every blade of grass, and reads the game really well. I mean, he protects a back four and has incredible stamina and sort of like just a turn of speed and sort of like great awareness, to play that deep number 6 role. And he does have the energy, like I said, to also break ahead, especially on the counter attack, as Leicester did last season. So, and as he's shown so far in the 2 games for France, that he is, ready to play at the very highest level now, with the best players. So it's very encouraging to see that he has taken that next leap. Obviously Leicester, with the tremendous last season tremendous title win, that means that they've got a large injection of cash. So in theory they don't have to sell, but it's up to Conte, I guess, to decide whether he wants to go to a bigger club. No disrespect to Leicester, especially given last season, but to a bigger reputable club. So United, obviously one of those, with Mourinho, who's always wanted a very good, technically adept holding midfielder who can set up play, and also has to be first and foremost do their job as the number 6 and shield that defence. Started off with McAlady at Chelsea, then Matic, etc. So Conte, I think, would be the most influential signing if we were to manage to get him. Obviously, with the reputation soaring through the roof, it's going to be quite tough with like PSG, Arsenal, Man City, all the big names going for him. Will be a tough fight. But I think if Conte does pick United, I think that he would be an automatic starter, whereas the other teams, they might not be, because Arsenal signed Xhaka, PSG, they have Verratti, and at City could be another step where he does play in that deep position, but they are also well fielded in that regard. The fee talked about probably around 25-30 million pound mark. I don't think that should be a surprising figure into today's game, given that most deals, as you can see with the Eric Bailly deal for us, that was around 30 million pounds. So that figure is a bit of thrown in the water now. It's such is the norm of such extravagant fees. So I think that would be a great signing. Conte, I think, would be the automatic choice. Obviously, that does have consequences for the likes of Schweinsteiger and Schneiderlin, where they perhaps question their long-term future. Carrick obviously signed a new deal, keeping him for next season, so he would have a secure in the team at that point. But Conte, again, absolutely would be an incredible signing, fit and would fit the team well, and I think would suit the Mourinho system very well. And of course, given his age, 25, he would be at the heart of midfield for the next 5 years or so. So absolute great player if we were managed to get him. So leave a comment below on N'Golo Kante. So the next player, again, is a number midfield player. It's Andre Gomez of Valencia. So he's around 22 years old. The touted fee is probably around 35 million euros. Roughly 27-30 million pounds. So another midfielder, again, if he was to come, it would raise questions about, and Herrera, because Andre Gomez is more of a number 8 box-to-box midfielder, can't even do a job, as a slightly tucked-in winger or as a number 10. I think the main thing about his game is that he one of these central midfielders who are able to dribble and get past people, and that is especially important nowadays where teams are, sometimes playing with double shielding midfielders. So you need that sort of like inspiration from the middle to cut in between the lines in order to, create a bit of panic in the opposition team. So Gomez would add that sort of like factor to our attack that perhaps has been lacking a little bit. But I think, it would be a great signing. And I think the ace in the sleeve here for us is that, he is Portuguese, and you can't undermine that sort of like connection with Mourinho, who is obviously Portuguese himself. So he would probably able to nurture Gomez at United, and just that connection I think will be an influential decision when Gomez does eventually make his decision. Like I said earlier, I think if he was able to come, it would have consequences, because Herrera, Mata, they are good players, and I think they're fans' favourites, but there's sort of like a more passing midfield types, where Andre Gomez, he is that sort of progressive type where he does it and is able to dribble a lot more with that bit of pace, and standing over 6 feet, he would able to handle himself physically in the Premier League. Given his size, it would take away the Fellaini factor, I would also say, where at set pieces now with the signing of Eric Bailly, we obviously have two defensively sound centre backs, and also with the height of Martial and potentially Gomez in the team, it would give the team a bit of more stability without the always needing Fellaini in the team just for that specific reason as well. So Gomez, I think, would be a fantastic signing, young, very young, so he would be able to develop himself at United. I think just the little bit of pace that would be injected in the middle is well needed, especially in tight games where teams are sitting back, and we need someone to sort of break or add another dimension in attack and sort of like create a different angle of fear basically into the opposition, where right now we do rely on the overlapping of fullbacks, which is fine, which is the default setting, as you like, for modern football, but sometimes you just need that bit of breaking the line in midfield in order to able to bring out your attackers and just create more dangerous sequences in the opposition half. So Gomez, I think, would be a great signing, but again, that I think that does probably like spell the end perhaps for players like Ander Herrera at United potentially. So what do you guys think of Andre Gomez? Leave a comment down below. And the last player I want to see at United, and it's Henrik Mkhitaryan at Borussia Dortmund. And obviously he's out of contract, I believe, next summer, so he would be primed to, or Dortmund would be primed probably to listen to Office this summer. He's 27, so he's been around the block a little bit, but he's still probably entering into his peak years now. And last year it was very, very good. A very productive season for him at Dortmund under Thomas Tuchel, and I think he would be an ideal candidate to solve our problems on the right hand side, because under Tuchel and Klopp before that, he played as a wide player but also operates at a number 10, but as you know, under those two managers, you obviously need to work hard as a wide player, and he's not he doesn't have blistering pace of Aubameyang or perhaps even Jamie Vardy, but he's fast enough that wouldn't sort of like be a stumbling block when we want to propose a counter threat. So with Mata, I absolutely love Juan Mata as a footballer, but at times when we do go and attack, you all know that he's not going to have his man for pace where he goes down the line and whip it in. He always has to cut back in and try to create other scenarios such as 1-2s, quick passing to manipulate the ball and the situation to get him in, rather than just using a bit of difference of pace or change of pace in order to go past a man. So that'll be a different situation. And with Mkhitaryan, he's proven that you wouldn't lack the end product. So he's, done chipped in with his goals and numerous assists last season, so he would be a great candidate. Like I said, the situation with his contract might be a good factor for Dortmund to basically reap their losses and cash in. So the amount being touted is around 15-20 million pounds, and for a player of proven caliber would be a pretty cheap acquisition. Dortmund obviously already sold Gundogan to City, and the CEO did come out recently or yesterday and said that they wouldn't be selling none of their stars. But I think if a big enough offer comes in with especially abroad and not to Bayern, they probably would be tempted, because then they would be able to use that money in and invest in another striker, where they've been linked with Goetze moving back there, or even Andre Schürrle from Wolfsburg. So it could be an interesting one. I think he would be an ideal candidate, because there's not too many world-class wingers up available for the minutes, and especially with the productivity that Mkhitaryan adds to the team, I think he'll be a great candidate for the right-hand side. Obviously, with Martial on the left. Memphis, again, could be affected by this. I mean, if he was able to play on the right-hand side, I would love to see him get another chance under Mourinho on that right-hand side. But right now, just looking at the market, I think Mkhitaryan would be an ideal candidate, given his contract's situation at Dortmund, and his qualities obviously on the pitch would be a great addition to the squad, and especially for that right hand side in a 4-3-3 formation. So there you guys have it for another video here on my channel. What do you guys make of the three proposals that I've put out here? N'Golo Kante, Andre Gomes and Mkhitaryan. If those three were to come with Ibrahimovic and Eric Bailly, who's already signed, I think we would have a very, very good squad, and would be put a serious title mount next year. So exciting times ahead, obviously with the Euros now. I don't think there will be any sort of movement before in the next 3 weeks, frankly. Once that happens, you probably will see an acceleration towards deals getting done, just generally, as managers coming back from their breaks, and also players just now available to come in and out of clubs in order to complete transfers. So again, you can check me out on Twitter at ManUnitedDaily, or you can go on the website as well, ManUnitedDaily.com. Thanks again for watching, guys. Leave a comment below, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel for more content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. I just quickly want to mention the guys over at Art of Football. They're a sort of company who does a load of these t-shirt designs for various clubs, and you can get your club sort of graphic on their website. But in this section, I want to mention specifically, given that the Euros are coming up, is their sort of 50 years of hurt line, where it's sort of reminding through England through the years since the 66 World Cup win. And obviously leading up to Euros, they've got this line out. You guys can check it out. I'll put a couple of images here just to show you sort of the design. The one that they've sent out to me is the one called Redemption, which is of David Beckham's free kick, the infamous free kick from the 2002 qualifier against Greece at Old Trafford. So it's a really nice, comfortable shirt. There's not much else I can say. It's a really cool graphic, and if you guys are looking for sort of an alternative sort of t-shirt where it's very casual, where you can still wear it out and obviously still have that connection with football, then I would definitely recommend you guys checking out Art of Football's t-shirts. All the t-shirts go for around £22 plus shipping, and then it's really, really great, and it's a good gift as well for anyone who obviously a football fan fan and looking for something a bit different, and sort of like it's still within a good budget if you're looking for a birthday gift or anything like that. So I'll leave the link below to the guys over at Art of Football. Check them out, and yeah, thanks again for them to send me out one of their t-shirts. Again, it's really comfortable, all sizes obviously, and yeah, check them out. I'll leave the link down below.